Yeah, I think after an introduction like that, our work is done, man. Do we even need to talk?
Dunzo.
So yeah, we're from Zimbabwe. It's an amazing country. It makes headlines for all the wrong reasons. You know, we've got a president who's been in power all my life, 36 years, which is it's amazing. Of course, it's bad for certain reasons, such as the fact that he's oppressive and all of that. But it's also quite progressive because, like in history class, it's really easy in Zimbabwe because you just have to learn the name of one president. And so it's much easier than, for example, in the United States, we have to learn the names of like 23 presidents or whatever. So we've got some of the top history students in the world.
True.
But yeah, no, it's a crazy country. We've been going through a time of political and economic turmoil, especially over the last 15 years. And it's not just something that can be blamed on the ruling party and on Mugabe. Of course, it's got much deeper roots than that. It goes back to the days of colonialism and the fact that there was the creation of a colonial state that was there to benefit a minority, and this is what the post-independent, as my ancestors, and this is what the post-independent nationalist government inherited, was a centralized state that wasn't a democratic state. We also, in the 90s, had the imposition of structural adjustment programs by the IMF and the World Bank that actually precipitated the crisis that we're in today. And you couple that with the fact that we've got a kleptocratic ruling party, and it's a recipe for disaster. So the last 15 years have really been one of struggle, one where we've been going through intense political oppression, stolen elections, losing 1/3 of our country to places like London and Johannesburg, and crazy economics. I mean, we got to the point we broke records. We broke the world record for the highest inflation ever in the world. We beat the Weimar Republic.
Winning.
Hashtag winning. We hit 2 million% inflation. It got to the point where it cost $1 trillion to buy a beer. I mean, we were literally printing out $1 trillion notes. We were a country of poor millionaires. We had millions of dollars, millions of Zimbabwe dollars, but they were worthless.
Yeah, Comrade Fatso was really traumatized about the $1 trillion beer cost thing. Like, it was tough. Getting wheelbarrows to go buy bread. But we established Magamba Network in 2007. I actually met Comrade Fatso on the spoken word and hip-hop scene back home after he had said that his crew was like the dopest hip-hop act that was in existence.
Definitely
and
was.
Yeah. And I was watching him through TV, and I was like, okay, challenge accepted. So yeah, we started off doing spoken word events and hip-hop events. And this was at a time when the repressive state had just come up with these draconian laws like the Public Order and Security Act, where you needed police clearance to congregate in public once you're more than 4 individuals. So this really made the platform that we provided through hip-hop and spoken word events to be this engaging space for young people to just express themselves, to be active in their different communities, and to just learn and build off of each other's knowledge through hip-hop and through spoken word. We're gonna take a look at a video clip of one of the tracks that we got arrested for.
It's a track, I mean, yeah, we got arrested while shooting it, which is really gangster. That's how we opened the video. Detained for 5 hours.
It was his fault.
I got us out of it. I spoke my way out of it.
what they said to me when I asked my mother to survive the army. So this is the start of my sad story, set in a dusty village in a poor country, because peace is what my village meant to me. And I grew up there from a child to a teen, quite chianswa, if you know what I mean. Kumushakwedu, Shinjitori, obscene, cause one day the earth gave birth to diamonds. So now all my people go deep mine diving and it's thriving. The poor passing from pathetic poverty to majoring in mining. But when the rich see resource, they want to privatize it. When the poor hustle, they criminalize it. They criminalize it, so criminalize this. Every day we just open your window, they work. Every day we hustle. Every day we just open your window, they work. Every day we hustle.
Day-to-day, but the police affect me in a major way. And I'm trying to make it pay, but you never overstand after pain I face. See, I'm a windy vendor, skyra ya gweja, trying to make a living, but the system got me fed up. Never thought I live my life this way, but should I fight the system? I fight the pain. I remain perturbed, it remains the same.
On cue.
It's the easiest way to perform in a foreign country when you can't be bothered. You just show a music video. It's like, yeah, we also rap, but we're just going to talk
Just
in
can't
between.
remember the words. Just the chorus. Yeah, but yeah, that was some of the work we used to do back in the day, ducking police, as we still do. And it was through hip-hop, her infinite power helping oppress people. And we just took on, expanded the projects that we were doing under Magamba Network to also encompass other forms of self-actualization, self-realization, and allowing people to express themselves. So we started the Be the Media project, which is a platform where young people get trained and workshopped into becoming citizen journalists. And then under Be the Media, there are also 2 youth platforms, one being Calabash Media, where they get to publish their youth opinion pieces, and the other is Open Parliament, where we train youth to go into Parliament and cover it live whenever Parliament is sitting. And we're currently the only organization that has youth going into Parliament for every session and covering it, and then spreading the word on social media so that other youth can engage and be part of like the vital information that's being shared in Parliament. We also have Shoko Festival, which is our annual festival. It's a celebration of urban culture and freedom of expression. It's a combination of concerts, workshops, trainings, and yeah, just celebrating all the other work we do, but amplified over a 3-day period. It started off being 6 days, but we kind of crammed it into 3 days so that it's like more powerful and nga, yeah. We also have Moto Republic, which is Zimbabwe's first creative hub, where we incubate and accelerate ideas by young people, creatives, social media enthusiasts, designers, filmmakers, just creators in general, activists as well. And it's a space where we try and be part of the creative economy, trying to just fuel it in a country that really doesn't have a existing mainstream economy. It's more alternative and black market. We also have Magamba TV, which is the production house that churns out the satirical content that we provide on platforms such as Tsawona, The Week, which is like a weekly coverage of news events that have taken place in our country, regionally, as well as internationally. And this is also the project that houses Zambezi News.
So Zambezi News is one of our favorite projects. All our projects are our favorite projects, but Zambezi News is one of our favorites. And it's a satirical news show. And it's the leading satirical news show in Zimbabwe. It's also the only satirical news show in Zimbabwe. People just don't choose to do satire and dictatorships. I'm like, I don't know why. Still trying to figure it out. But the whole show came about by fluke. Like, there was a friend of ours who was working for a film festival and came up to us and was like, hey, you know, at the time we were performing a lot of hip-hop and spoken word, and in between performing, we'd just talk a lot of shit on stage, basically. And she was like, yo, for the closing of our film festival, can you guys come through and like just read some funny news or something? And we were like, oh, that sounds dope, but we're supposed to be on tour in Scandinavia at the time, so maybe next time. She's like, well, it's a film festival, so I can send a film crew over. They film it and we show it. We're like, cool. So she sent the film crew over, and 30 minutes before they arrived, we kind of turned to each other and were like, oh shit, man, we haven't written anything. So we quickly wrote a script in like 30 minutes. They filmed it. It was screened, went down really well at the film festival, and we got back from our tour and we heard about it. We're like, oh, cool, I guess we're onto something. And so we shot the pilot season of Zambezi News, and then distributed 10,000 DVDs across the country. And yeah, and got really, really good feedback. Because Zambezi News is basically a parody of the state-controlled Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation, which pushes out relentless propaganda supporting the ruling party and whatever the government says. And all radio and TV in Zimbabwe is either controlled by the state or controlled by their cronies. So, for example, like one of our leading independent radio stations is owned by the company of the Minister of Information and Communication Technologies. You know what I mean? It's very independent. So basically, with Zambezi News, is, you know, we end up taking the piss out of ZBC. We act as three newscasters who read the news, pushing forward the patriotic propaganda, but very tongue-in-cheek. And so the pilot season went ahead really good. We got great feedback, and even like one feedback from a viewer out outside somewhere in the country who fed back via email saying, I can't believe this is the state of our national broadcaster. I don't believe that they're so inept and incompetent. And we were like, oh, that's great. That's our job done. They think we are the Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation. And since then, it's grown from strength to strength. We're now on our 4th season. We have to find creative means of distributing our content because it's blacklisted on TV and radio. So at first, we would produce like literally 10,000 DVDs per season. But then when social media really grew in Zimbabwe and with the expansion of access to mobile broadband internet, our biggest content sharing platforms now are really Facebook, WhatsApp, and to an extent, YouTube, which allows us to access, you know, our key target demographic of young people across the country. And so, you know, on the positive side, we have reached millions of Zimbabweans with our message. We've signed a deal with the leading cable channel on the African continent that now broadcasts our show to the whole of Southern Africa, reaching over 3 million households. And also have been making headlines over the last year or two with Zambezi News featuring in The Guardian. Had a mini documentary done on us by Channel 4. Had to get the journalists out of the country via the back door when it was found out they were in the country. We're featured on CNN, on Amanpour, in the Sunday Times, Deutsche Welle, Germany, which is great. But then it also means, you know, there's a lot of backlash that we get from the government. So even when we were launching season 3 last year, the police were on the phone. They called us up and said, yo, we hear you're launching your season. Do you have police clearance? And we were like, it's a comedy show. Why do we need police clearance for a comedy show, you know? But for the launch, that meant we had to have our lawyers present in case it got shut down and we got arrested. We get regular phone calls from the Central Intelligence Organization, the Censorship Board. Some of our main actors have had their lives threatened for being part of an anti-government regime change agenda. That's the preferred terminology used by the government, eh? We're part of an anti-government regime change agenda, imperially sponsored. Because in Zimbabwe, if you think for yourself and you oppose the government, you're obviously funded, you know, by the West. And but you know, we keep doing this because satire just proves to be a great way to reach young people, to talk about really important political issues, but to talk about it through humor. And it's a great way we've found to kind of communicate with young people, to make people laugh, and to make them think at the same time. So we're going to show you 2 clips from Zambezi News to give you an idea of the stupid shit we do.
We are here to say to the imperialist nations, that is you, We, the Zimbabweans, have every right to demand 50% or more of white-owned companies. Why are you being crybabies? As my ministry is primarily for impending projects, I will not dwell on indigenization, as that is already a project underway. I am here to beseech the United Nations in 2 impending projects that my ministry is undertaking. As it is known worldwide, the Kariba Dam is in danger of collapsing. I know our Zambian compatriots have been busy fundraising for the repair of the dam. Us in Zimbabwe are also taking the threat very seriously. Thus, the project has been placed under my ministry as a top priority impending project. We are seeking $1 billion for a due diligence study. I know most of you are skeptical as to where this money will go, as most monies that you have given to my country have gone unaccounted for. I agree, some of it might have been diverted to cover weddings and such, but these are events of national importance. To ensure and encourage accountability, the $1 billion shall be deposited into my personal account, and I will personally account for every cent. This is where you applaud me for such honesty and transparency. You are honored.
Somewhere in the heart of the Midwest.
I've got to save Africa.
You're so selfless, honey.
A dream must be fulfilled, a risk taken. Famine Pictures presents a heartwarming tale of bravery and sacrifice. He killed thousands, single-handedly. He saved the entire continent, and they didn't even know from what. In fact, they hadn't even asked for his help. The entire cast died around him. But he survived. One man, alone, in Africa. One man, one quest, thousands of powerless extras, and 11 years in the making. White Night rising in a dark continent. Coming soon to a theater near you.
So for anyone who didn't like that last clip, that wasn't me in the clip. That's my brother. If you want to lynch him, you can find him. He lives in Finsbury Park.
Thorpedale Road.
71B. There's a
Thought it was
tree
70.
nearby.
Ah, and a park right across the street. Okay, we're snitching quite. Okay.
It's cool. He's not here.
Because he's home. On Thorpedale
Awaiting the lynch
Road.
mob. Yeah.
Yeah, so to speak towards Shoko Festival, that's like our celebration of freedom of expression, and also kind of like a rebellious act where we get all these different platforms of expression all under one roof in one event space in the city center that we then take to low-income communities as well, so that the youth in these high-density townships also participate in this international exchange. Shoko Festival has a reach of 10,000, and annually we create temporary employment for over 200 young men and women. This is just wanting to be part of that creative economy as well, and seeing how we can fuel this entrepreneurial spirit that is well ingrained in our nation now, since there are no like real jobs that you can get from the government. So the festival is a concoction of hip-hop concerts, DJing events, workshops and trainings in new media and art. And it's also a platform where we do regional and international artist exchanges with other festivals such as Festa do Zach or I just went blank. Norway.
Zimfest.
Zimfest. So weird because it's Zimfest, but in Norway. With Zimbabweans. In Norway.
We're everywhere. We spread ourselves very thin across the world.
Zimfest UK. We also have Zimfest in London. And Oz. So it's just one big festival. But yeah, that's Shoko Festival. It's a platform for free expression and like engaging the communities with artists that are for positive social change. And it's over 3 days. We take it into the communities, and it's a free event where we have international, regional, and local artists all participating in the festival.
So yeah, I mean, those are some of the different, forms of creative activism that we use at Magamba Network: satire, hip hop, festivals, citizen journalism, and we left Zimbabwe at a very kind of crucial time. I mean, literally, the day we left on the Wednesday was the hashtag Shutdown Zimbabwe 2016, where a lot of different youth protest movements came together, and there's some really inspiring movements that we're working with. There's hashtag This Flag, which is one youth movement that's using social media to mobilize young people to protest against the government. There's hashtag Tajamuka, which means we're fed up, who are using a lot of direct action to confront the government. And all these movements came together on Wednesday when we were leaving and called for a nationwide shutdown and shut down the entire country. I mean, literally, the city center was empty, shops were closed. And it was a really inspiring moment coming on the back of 15 years of, economic stagnation and an absolutely parasitic ruling class that lives in absolute luxury, while the majority of Zimbabweans, 80%, 85%, have no real employment. And, I mean, even as we speak, on one of the shows we produced the week that Outspoken talked of, a weekly analysis of the news that we put out on a weekly basis. Just the guest that we interviewed this week, Promise Mkwananzi, who's the spokesperson of the Tajamuka movement, he was actually arrested yesterday for participating and promoting the shutdown. And they're going about, actually now they're abducting and attempting to abduct all leaders of the shutdown. And there's another shutdown called for next week, Wednesday and Thursday. And we really feel like it's a very important moment in Zimbabwe. It's really amazing grassroots youth movements that have all arisen this year. Movements that call themselves horizontal, movements that say, we've got no leaders, you're all leaders, because they've had enough of the politicians, our ruling class, but also they've also had enough of opposition politicians whose egos get in the way of actually coming about and creating real change. So these are the movements that that we're working with This Flag, with Tajamuka, and we try and put the different kind of creative forms of activism that we use at the disposal and for the benefit of these movements. So in going forward, we're going to be getting back home next week, supporting the shutdown, recording regular shows such as The Week that we're going to be distributing and using that as information to mobilize young people to be part of the change in their country. We've got Shoko Festival coming up in September, which, if the nation's not on fire then, it will go ahead and we'll use it as a space to bring together and inspire young people and all the change makers that are hopefully in the midst of a revolution. So yeah, that's what we do. And we're going to show you one more clip before we close. And this is a hip-hop clip from Zambezi News. It's our faux hip-hop crew, the even more little swaggery boys who just want to be bling rappers. And they're full of shit. Anyway, this is them.
Hi, my name is. What? My name is. Who? My name is. Zim Shady. Hi, my name is. What? My name is. Who? My name is. Zim Shady. Hi, my name is. What? My name is. My name is. Zim Shady. Hi, my name is. What? My name is. My name is. Zim Shady. Hi kids, You like finance? Want to see me build 16 rooms in a mansion in Highlands? Want to make billions from just 5 cents? Exploit employees until their lifestyles are lifeless?
My bank looks great. I cannot keep my cash straight, so I have to pay police so they don't come investigate. And like my pay says,
Sneezy, you've made it. Just check your payslip. It's amazing.
Since age 12, I accumulated my wealth by basically embezzling at the expense of everyone else. Got tipped off to sponsor politics, sports, built connections, and watch my business empires take off.
I walk with big bags of cash that I love to flash and spend faster than a black man who's not used to cash. Come here, money.
Angry, wait a minute, that's my cash, dog.
I don't care, I'm here to benefit even at your loss.
Hi, my name is...
What?
My name is... Who? My name is...
Zim Shady.
Hi, my name is...
What?
My name is... Who? My name is...
Zim Shady.
Hi, my name is...
What?
My name is...
Who?
My name is...
Zim Shady.
Hi, my name is...
What?
My name is... My name is...
Zim Shady.
I built 8 churches that are skyscrapers to the naked eye. All you need is a congregation that believes your every lie. I have a direct line to the creator. He needs all your paper. Put it in my account. We sort it out later. Ashamalala money, money, money. Rebuke the demons of not giving cash. Rebuke the curse of investing outside my church. I see a vision of money. Money coming to you, then me. Basically money coming to me via you, from you. Amen. Amen.
Yeah, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I've been Comrade Fatso.
I'm still outspoken.
Thank you very much.